everyone. My name's Joshua Dweck, and I'll be talking today about chapters 17 and 18, UN Resolution 194, and Israel's Law of Return. So to set the scene here, it's December 1948. The Jews have won the war, whatever you want to call it, and a large quantity of Arabs were kicked off of the land, while the Jews are trying to create a Jewish state. I'm the UN, and I now have to do something about this, so I passed Resolution 194. Up here we have the three most relevant sections. All the rest of it is the formation of a committee to do various things as far as governing the land. Most important part of it is that there is a committee. Otherwise, we've got these three sections. 7 and 8 talk about what to do with the holy sites in Israel. Because Israel is the home of some of the holiest places in the world for three religions, there needs to be access for everyone to their own holy sites. So that's basically what Section 7 says. It's creating this necessity almost. Well, not necessity as much as mandate, that access to the holy sites of your religion are protected to people of that religion. Just so that they don't, cause any issues by blocking various holy sites to incite whatever you want to incite. And Section 8 and a little bit of Section 7 establish a big piece of land from Tzfat in the north to Beit Lechem in the south, from Ein Karim to Abu Dis in the east and west, that isn't going to be Israel or Palestine, really. It'll be a separate entity that is basically the holy pieces of the place formerly known as Palestine. And the goal of that basically is to try to demilitarize Jerusalem and create as little conflict in there, at least violent conflict in there, as humanly possible. And then 11 has to do with the refugees that were kicked out of the land. And it resolves basically that any refugees who want to go home and live peacefully among the neighbors, that's one of the more important pieces of this, be allowed to do so, as early as they can, or be compensated for the loss or damage of property. Contrast this with the start of a Jewish state, where Israel just needs Jews. So it says that on July 5th, 1950, Israel passed the Law of Return, which basically says that every Jew has the right to immigrate to the country and receive citizenship. Unless they're, a threat to national security or public health, or have some highly communicable disease that wasn't in Israel in the first place. Then if they were there already before this law was passed, or now if they come in, they'll be just granted citizenship just blanketly. Now, just to compare these two documents, of all of the pieces of Resolution 194 that are actually relevant to the Law of Return, all we've got is just Section 11 with the refugees and their return to their original homes. The first thing I notice here is that the right side with Law of Return is just much simpler language. I think that's a lot to do with the fact that the left is UN mumbo-jumbo with a lot of stupid legal language, and the right is both not originally written in English and not from the UN, so it just, it allows for a little more casual language. And secondly, and most importantly, it's on one side, on Israel's Law of Return, it just says that unless you pose a serious threat to the Jewish nation or public health, then you can come in. While which places the burden of proof on those who would prove that you will be a threat. And whereas in the Resolution 194 here, it says that if you're going to live peacefully, which means it places the burden of proof on the fact that you want to be peaceful, which I think is a little bit harder to prove. But regardless, it's the major difference here that I'm seeing. So if there's any other ones, I guess feel free to let me know in whatever comments you guys do. Otherwise, thank you so much. That's all I really have right now, and have a good day.